For 7 years, Stranger Things fans thought they understood Vecna, the monster who broke Max's bones, the villain who opened gates to the Upside Down, the creature who wanted to destroy Hawkins. But Season 5 revealed something far more disturbing. Vecna doesn't just want to destroy Hawkins, he wants to rebuild reality itself. And he's been working toward this goal since November 1983, when he first kidnapped Will Byers. If the 12 children Vecna has captured become his vessels for reshaping the world, he's not planning an invasion, he's planning a replacement, a complete rewrite of existence where humanity as we know it ceases to exist. And suddenly, every attack, every possession, every vision across 4 seasons was never about conquest. It was about preparation. The Duffer Brothers have been building toward this revelation since Season 1. Vecna wasn't just the mastermind behind the Mind Flayer, he was always meant to be something worse. Something that makes the Demogorgon look like a pet. But what exactly is Vecna's ultimate plan? How does it connect to Will's original kidnapping? And why does he need specifically 12 children to execute it? The answers lie in everything we've seen since Hawkins' lab opened the first gate. And once you understand what Vecna is actually building, you'll realize the stakes were never about saving Hawkins. They were about saving the concept of humanity itself. Let's go back to where it truly started. November 6, 1983, Hawkins, Indiana. Dr. Martin Brenner ordered 11 to make psychic contact with a creature in the Upside Down. She touched the Demogorgon's mind. The connection created a rift between dimensions. The first gate opened at Hawkins National Laboratory. That same night, Will Byers disappeared while riding his bike home. He was chased by the Demogorgon through the woods near his house. The monster cornered him in his shed. Will vanished into the Upside Down. For years, fans believed this was random. Wrong place, wrong time. An innocent kid caught by a mindless predator. Season 5, Episode 1 revealed the horrifying truth. November 12, 1983, 6 days after Will's disappearance. A flashback showed what actually happened to Will in the Upside Down during those missing days. Will wasn't just captured, he was selected. After escaping the Demogorgon initially, Will was found by Vecna himself. Vecna's tentacles wrapped around Will's small body. They forced their way into his mouth, pumping an unidentified substance directly into him. Vecna leaned close to the terrified child and made a promise. "We will do such beautiful things together." This wasn't a random abduction. This was a deliberate infection. Vecna was turning Will into something else, a hybrid, a vessel connected to the hive mind, but still possessing his human consciousness. In Season 2, Will became possessed by the Mind Flayer. Joyce and Jonathan performed an exorcism through heat, driving the shadow particles from his body. But Season 5 revealed that connection never fully severed. Will retained a psychic link to Vecna and the Upside Down. Will's abilities manifested in Episode 4 when Vecna attacked the military base. Will suffered a seizure and experienced a vision. He saw Holly Wheeler and other captured children bound to spires in the Upside Down, with fleshy vines being forced into their mouths. The exact same process Vecna performed on him in 1983. When Vecna confronted Will directly at the military base, he confirmed what Will had become. Vecna told him that Will was the first, the one who broke so easily, the one who showed Vecna what was possible, what he could achieve. Will Byers wasn't Vecna's victim. He was Vecna's proof of concept. And if Vecna successfully created one vessel 8 years ago, what can he achieve with 12? Fast forward to November 1987. Hawkins sat under military quarantine. 18 months had passed since Vecna opened 4 gates and tore the town apart. The Upside Down had begun bleeding into reality. For those 18 months, Vecna remained completely dormant. No attacks, no possessions, no psychic presence for 11 to track. Hopper led dangerous reconnaissance missions into the Upside Down, searching for any sign of Vecna. They found nothing. That changed when Vecna made his move. Vecna abandoned his monstrous form and appeared to Hawkins' children as Henry Creel. Not the burned, tentacled creature, his human self, young, friendly, wearing a top hat. He called himself Mr. Whatsit, a name taken from Madeleine L'Engle's novel A Wrinkle in Time. He appeared to children in a dreamlike state, presenting them with an idyllic version of the Creel house, where everything seemed safe and beautiful. He promised to protect them from the monsters plaguing their town. He gained their trust through manipulation and psychological grooming. Once the children believed in Mr. Whatsit, Vecna dispatched Demogorgons into the real world to physically kidnap them. His first target was Holly Wheeler, Mike and Nancy's younger sister. The Demogorgon attacked the Wheeler house, critically injuring both Ted and Karen Wheeler, before dragging Holly through a temporary gate into the Upside Down. Vecna's pattern became clear through Will's psychic connection to the hive mind. 1 child the first night, 3 children the next night, 8 children the night after that, 12 children total. The military detained several children from Hawkins' schools, believing they were protecting potential victims. But when Vecna and his Demogorgons attacked the military base at Mac Z in Episode 4, they kidnapped the detained children as well. By the end of Volume 1, Vecna had successfully captured all 12 children he needed. Will's vision revealed what Vecna was doing to them. Each child was bound to aspire deep within the Upside Down. Fleshy vines from the hive mind were being forced into their mouths, just like what happened to Will. Vecna was transforming them into psychic vessels connected to his will. When Vecna confronted Will at the military base, he explained his reasoning. Vecna chose children because they are weak in body and mind, easily broken, easily reshaped, easily controlled, the perfect vessels for his ultimate goal. Can you see the children? Do you know why? Why I chose them to reshape the world? It's because they are weak in body and mind, easily broken, easily reshaped, controlled, the perfect vessels. If you're following along with this breakdown of Vecna's plan, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because what comes next explains why these 12 children make Vecna's plan exponentially more dangerous than anything we've seen before. Vecna wasn't collecting victims, he was building components, human batteries for a machine designed to rewrite reality itself. While searching for Holly in the Upside Down, Hopper and Eleven encountered something that stopped them cold. A massive wall made of pulsating organic vines and organ-like growths. Eleven tried to destroy it with her powers. The wall instantly regenerated. Every piece of damage healed within seconds. Even Eleven, who had closed the gate to the Upside Down and thrown Henry Creel into another dimension when she was just a child, couldn't make a dent. Later, when Nancy, Steve, Jonathan, and Dustin pursued a Demogorgon through the Upside Down, they crashed their car directly into the same wall in a completely different location. Dustin used trigonometry and tracking data from the wall's strange frequency emissions to make a critical discovery. The wall wasn't a random barrier. It formed a perfect circle around the entire upside-down version of Hawkins. And at the precise center of that circle sat Hawkins National Laboratory, the birthplace of every gate. The location where Eleven first made contact with the Demogorgon, the place where Henry Creel became subject number 1. This was no accident. The wall was an artificial construct directly linked to the original gate. It can be speculated that the wall functions as either a cage or a containment field, protecting whatever Vecna is building beyond it. The wall's properties are particularly significant. It completely blocks Eleven's psychic tracking abilities. She cannot sense anything beyond the barrier. She cannot locate Vecna. She cannot reach the 12 children trapped on the other side. This physical limitation finds a fascinating parallel inside Vecna's own mind. Max Mayfield, whose consciousness became trapped within Vecna's memories after her clinical death in Season 4, discovered a rock wall inside Henry Creel's mindscape, a cave from his childhood in Nevada that he refuses to enter, a memory that terrifies him. According to the stage play Stranger Things: The First Shadow, young Henry Creel discovered a cave near an army base in Nevada. Inside that cave, he found stolen government technology and was accidentally transported to Dimension X. That experience gave him his powers. It also exposed him to the particles that would later become the Mind Flayer. The cave represents the moment Henry's life changed forever, the memory where everything began, and he still fears it. Max uses that cave as her sanctuary, the one place inside Vecna's mind where she's safe from his influence. When Holly Wheeler's consciousness was drawn into the same mindscape through Vecna's Mr. What's-It persona, Max found her and explained their situation. They're trapped in Henry's memories, and the cave is the only location that offers protection. 2 walls, one physical in the Upside Down, one psychological in Vecna's memories, both blocking psychic abilities, both centered on locations tied to Henry Creel's transformation. It can be speculated that the 12 children are the key to destroying both walls. By turning them into vessels and channeling their combined psychic energy, Vecna may be planning to shatter these constraints. And if both walls fall, nothing would prevent Vecna from unleashing his full power and completing his plan to merge dimensions. The wall isn't just a barrier, it's a countdown timer, and Vecna is preparing to break it from the inside. To understand what Vecna is building, we need to understand what he's already created, the Mind Flayer. When Eleven banished Henry Creel to the Upside Down in 1979, he fell through an interdimensional space filled with lightning and storms. The electricity burned him, mutilated him, transformed his body into something no longer recognizably human. He emerged in a dimension he initially believed was purgatory, but Henry changed his mind. He came to view it as a realm unspoiled by mankind. He began exploring this alien landscape. During his exploration, Henry encountered a massive cloud of shadow particles, a swirling, storm-like mass of mysterious energy. Whether this entity was sentient before Henry found it remains unclear, but Henry Creel saw an opportunity. He used his psychic abilities to manipulate the shadow particles. He reconstituted the formless mist into a shape that satisfied him, a giant spider-like entity with a flame-shaped head and numerous tornado-like limbs. The design came from Henry's childhood. As a young boy, Henry Creel was fascinated by black widow spiders. He viewed them as the ultimate alpha predators, only looked down upon because of their size. He sketched drawings of spider-like creatures in his notebooks. The Mind Flayer was Henry's childhood artwork made real. By taking control of the Mind Flayer particles, Vecna gained the ability to stretch his consciousness across vast distances. He could possess other beings. He could create a hive mind connecting all creatures in the Upside Down. Demogorgons, Demodogs, Demobats, Vines, all linked through the Mind Flayer to Vecna's will. This explains everything that happened across seasons 1 through 3. The Demogorgon that took Will wasn't acting on instinct, it was following Vecna's orders. The Mind Flayer that possessed Will in season 2 was Vecna testing his control. The fleshy proxy form that the Mind Flayer built from melted humans in season 3 was Vecna attempting to create a body that could operate in the real world. Dustin theorized in season 4 that Vecna was the Mind Flayer's 5-star general. He was wrong. Vecna isn't serving the Mind Flayer. The Mind Flayer serves Vecna. When Hopper, Joyce, and Murray killed the Demogorgons in the Russian prison in season 4, everyone connected to the hive mind weakened. The Demobats, the Vines, even Vecna himself, because they're all extensions of the same consciousness. Vecna's consciousness shaped through Mind Flayer particles. The relationship between Vecna and the Mind Flayer may be more complex than simple control. The stage play, The First Shadow, suggests that the Mind Flayer particles influenced Henry even as a child, encouraging him to commit violent acts. When Henry first encountered the shadow entity in the Upside Down, it supposedly took the forms of his dead family members and Dr. Brenner, claiming it wanted to study him. There's evidence of a complicated psychic connection between Henry and the entity. Henry repeatedly attempted to seize full control, but the entity would retaliate, forcing him to re-experience traumatic memories. It can be speculated that Vecna and the Mind Flayer exist in a symbiotic relationship rather than a pure hierarchy. They've merged into something greater than either alone. And if the 12 children give Vecna the power to completely dominate this entity, he would have unlimited control over the hive mind. Drop a comment below with your theory about what happens when Vecna gains complete control over the Mind Flayer, because the implications for Volume 2 are absolutely terrifying. March 24th, 1986. Nancy Wheeler and her friends ventured into the Upside Down to find Vecna. They needed to stop him before he could claim a fourth victim and open a fourth gate. As Nancy attempted to leave the Upside Down through the gate at Eddie's trailer, Vecna targeted her. Nancy fell through a black void and found herself at the bottom of an empty pool. She saw the corpse of her long-deceased friend Barb lying against the pool wall. Nancy had entered Vecna's mindscape. Vecna showed her his memories, his childhood, his powers, the truth about his family's death, his transformation at Hawkins' lab into subject number 1, his massacre of the other children, his banishment to the Upside Down. Then Vecna showed Nancy something else, the future. Nancy's mind flooded with cataclysmic images. 4 gates tearing across Hawkins, converging on the town square. The Upside Down bleeding into reality. Monsters invading neighborhoods and homes. Dead soldiers, dead civilians, bodies everywhere. Vecna showed Nancy a giant creature with a gaping mouth looming over the ruins of Hawkins, an army of monsters following it, dust particles falling from the sky like snowflakes as the dimensions merged. Then Vecna showed Nancy her family, her mother Karen, her little sister Holly, her brother Mike, all of them facing horrible fates. Nancy couldn't even say aloud what Vecna showed her when she finally escaped his vision. She choked back tears trying to describe it to her friends. Vecna didn't kill Nancy. He released her. He told her to tell Eleven what she saw. He wanted Eleven to know he was coming. Nancy and her friends pieced together Vecna's plan from the vision. He needed 4 deaths to open 4 gates. 3 gates already existed from his previous kills. He needed 1 more victim, 1 more murder to complete his design. That victim was Max Mayfield. Despite the group's desperate plan to save her, Vecna succeeded. He broke Max's limbs. He blinded her. He killed her. For 1 full minute, Max was clinically dead. That was long enough. A 4th gate ripped open at the Creel house. All 4 gates rapidly expanded and converged on Hawkins Town Square, creating an earthquake-like effect. Fissures tore across the entire town. Buildings collapsed. Dozens of residents died in the initial cataclysm. 11 revived Max by restarting her heart, but Max's consciousness never returned to her body. She fell into a coma. Her mind remained trapped inside Vecna's memories. The damage was done. The gates remained open. The vision Vecna showed Nancy began manifesting in reality. For 18 months, the Upside Down slowly leaked into Hawkins. Spores drifted through the air. The sky darkened. The military quarantined the town, sealing it off from the outside world. Residents who stayed adapted to living in constant danger. But Vecna's vision promised something worse than gradual contamination. It promised a complete merger. A moment when the Upside Down would no longer be a separate dimension, but the new reality of Hawkins itself. And Season 5 revealed that moment is approaching. Vecna spent 18 months recovering from his injuries and building his strength. He spent that time preparing for the final phase, the 12 children, the vessels that would give him the power to finish what he started. Nancy's vision wasn't a threat, it was a blueprint, and Vecna is following it step by step. Now we move from confirmed facts into speculation based on everything the show has established. This is where we explore what Vecna's plan might truly mean for the world. Vecna told Eleven his philosophy when he was still number 1 at Hawkins' lab. He explained that he views humanity as a plague, society as a disease. He believes humans impose artificial order on a chaotic universe, and this order is fundamentally wrong. Henry Creel wanted to strip away everything humans had built, return the world to a natural state, a state where predators like him could thrive without restriction. When Vecna showed Nancy his vision of Hawkins' destruction, he wasn't just threatening one town. The vision showed Hawkins as the starting point, the entry zone for something larger. In Season 4, Vecna told Nancy directly, "When I kill someone, I open a doorway between our 2 worlds. With 4 kills, 4 doors. With 4 doors, I can reshape your world." It can be speculated that Vecna's use of the word reshape is literal. He's not planning to destroy Hawkins and expand the Upside Down across Earth through traditional invasion. He's planning to replace reality itself. The 12 children may be the mechanism for this replacement. By transforming them into psychic vessels connected to the hive mind, Vecna could theoretically use their combined consciousness as a power source, a battery strong enough to fuel a complete dimensional merger. Think about what we know about the children. Holly Wheeler is one of the brightest kids in her class. Vecna specifically mentioned this when targeting her. Derek Turnbow, another target, was chosen because he's tough. Each child likely possesses specific traits Vecna wants to exploit. It can be speculated that Vecna isn't just using their psychic potential, he's using their individual characteristics to build a complete system, different components serving different functions in his grand design. Will Byers discovered he could tap into the hive-mind connection Vecna created. In Episode 4, Will used this connection to kill Demogorgons by breaking their bones, using the exact same method Vecna uses on his human victims. The Duffer Brothers confirmed Will's powers are entirely proximity-based. He can only harness them when he's close to Vecna. This suggests the hive mind operates like a network, with Vecna as the central server. The 12 children would be additional processing units, and if Will, who is only partially transformed, already has this much power, imagine what 12 fully converted vessels could achieve. The wall surrounding Hawkins' lab may be the final obstacle preventing Vecna from executing his plan. It can be speculated that the wall represents a dimensional boundary, a barrier preventing the Upside Down from completely merging with reality. By channeling the 12 children's combined energy, Vecna might be planning to shatter that boundary permanently. Not just in Hawkins, everywhere. The Duffer Brothers have emphasized that Season 5 will reveal why everything connects back to Hawkins, why this specific town has been the center of every Upside Down event since 1983. The answer may be that Hawkins is the weakest point between dimensions, the location where the fabric of reality is thinnest. Vecna is using Hawkins as a surgical incision point, the place where he can cut through to the other side and peel back reality itself. His vision showed Nancy a giant creature with a gaping mouth, It can be speculated this creature represents the fully manifested Mind Flayer, no longer constrained by dimensional barriers, no longer limited to shadow particles and proxy forms, the complete entity existing in physical reality. If Vecna succeeds in reshaping the world, humanity wouldn't just face monsters, they would face a fundamental change in the nature of existence. The laws of physics, biology, consciousness, everything could be rewritten according to Vecna's design. He told Will that the children would help him reshape the world, not conquer it, not destroy it, reshape it. Vecna wants to become a god, and the 12 children are his path to divinity. Here's where Vecna's plan has a critical vulnerability. Vecna told Will he was the first, the one who broke so easily, the proof of concept. But Vecna may have underestimated what he created. Will didn't just retain a connection to the hive mind, he developed the ability to fight back through it. When Will killed those Demogorgons in episode 4, he proved he could turn Vecna's own weapon against him. The Duffer Brothers confirmed Will is more than just a victim. This season reveals the layers beneath his character. His exploration of his identity and his deeper connection to the Upside Down play crucial roles. It can be speculated that Will represents an unintended consequence of Vecna's plan, a vessel who maintained his humanity despite the transformation. And if Will can use the hive mind to kill Vecna's creatures, perhaps he can use it to free the 12 children before their conversion completes. There's another factor. Max Mayfield is trapped inside Vecna's memories, but she found the cave he fears. She's surviving in the one place his consciousness won't follow. Holly Wheeler joined her there. If Max and Holly can maintain their sanctuary inside Vecna's mind, they might be able to resist his control over the other children. They could become saboteurs within his own consciousness, planting doubt, creating interference, weakening his grip on the vessels. And then there's Kali. Number 8. The Sister 11 found and left behind in Season 2. Season 5, Episode 4, revealed that the military captured Kali and imprisoned her at their upside-down research facility. They've been using her illusion powers to create the sonic weapon that neutralizes Eleven's abilities. When Hopper and Eleven found Kali, she was restrained, just like she was as a child at Hawkins' lab. The sonic weapon was suppressing her powers, but Kali smiled when she saw Eleven. She looked relieved to see her sister. Kali's illusion powers could be essential to defeating Vecna. He manipulates perception. He creates mental prisons built from traumatic memories. Kali does the same thing, but she uses it to survive and fight back. It can be speculated that Kali could enter Vecna's mindscape the same way Max did. She could strengthen the sanctuary around the cave. She could create illusions that confuse the hive mind. She could make Vecna see things that aren't there, disrupting his control over the 12 vessels. The Duffer Brothers confirmed Kali will play a really important role in Volume 2. Millie Bobby Brown explained that Kali is one of the few people who truly understands what Eleven has been through. 3 psychics. 11 with her telekinesis, Will with his hive mind connection, Kali with her illusions. 3 survivors of different types of trauma. 3 people who understand what it means to have their minds invaded and their perception twisted. Vecna has 12 vessels, but the heroes have 3 psychics who might know how to break his hold on them. Everything in Stranger Things has been building toward the revelation that Vecna's ambitions extend beyond simple destruction. For 4 seasons, fans believed they were watching a story about monsters invading from another dimension, a small town fighting to close the gates and push the threat back. Season 5 reveals the truth. This was never about invasion. It was about transformation. Vecna doesn't want to rule our world. He wants to replace it with his own. And he's been working toward this goal since the moment Eleven banished him to the Upside Down. The 12 children aren't victims. They're construction materials, components in a machine designed to tear down the walls between dimensions and stitch together a new reality where Vecna's consciousness shapes the fundamental laws of existence. The wall surrounding Hawkins' lab isn't a defense, it's a chrysalis, a protective barrier Vecna created to shield himself while he builds his final form. And when that barrier falls, the Upside Down won't slowly leak into Hawkins, it will erupt. A complete dimensional merger that transforms everything in an instant. Nancy's vision showed the beginning of this process. Dead soldiers, dead civilians, monsters in the streets. But that was only the first stage. Vecna's ultimate goal extends beyond Hawkins, beyond Indiana, beyond America. The giant creature Nancy saw with a gaping mouth represents the fully manifested Mind Flayer, no longer constrained, no longer limited. The complete fusion of Vecna's consciousness with the shadow entity, powered by 12 human vessels and unlimited by dimensional boundaries. If Vecna succeeds, there won't be an Earth to save. there will only be Vecna's world, a reality reshaped in the image of a traumatized child who learned to hate humanity and love predators. A universe built on suffering, fear, and absolute control. The Duffer brothers created Vecna as the antithesis of 11. She uses her powers to protect people despite her trauma. He uses his powers to punish people because of his trauma. She found family in her pain. He found only more reasons to destroy. The final battle won't just be about defeating a villain. It will be about proving that humanity deserves to exist, that the messiness and complexity of human society is worth preserving, that artificial order is better than natural chaos. 11, Will, and Callie represent different aspects of what it means to survive trauma with your humanity intact. 11's protective instincts, Will's resilience, Callie's adaptability. Three paths that lead away from becoming what Vecna became. It can be speculated that the key to stopping Vecna isn't overpowering him. It's showing him what he could have been if he'd chosen differently. Using the cave and his memories, the place where his transformation began, to confront the moment he decided humanity was beyond saving. Max and Holly surviving inside that cave proves it's possible to resist Vecna's influence, even from within his own mind. If they can maintain their sanctuary, they provide a template for freeing the other children. Will's ability to use the hive mind against Vecna proves that the vessels aren't just passive components, they're potential saboteurs, resistance fighters operating behind enemy lines in the war for reality itself. And Callie's return after 7 years proves that every piece of this story matters, that the lost sister wasn't a mistake, that the girl with illusion powers was always meant to fight the monster who weaponizes perception. Volume 2 will reveal whether Vecna's plan succeeds or fails, whether the 12 children become his instruments of transformation or the key to his defeat, whether Hawkins survives or becomes the entry point for a new age where humanity exists only in Vecna's reshaped world. The question isn't whether Vecna matters. The question is whether humanity can prove to a broken, powerful boy that life is worth preserving. If you found this analysis of Vecna's ultimate plan revealing, hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment with your predictions for how Volume 2 will resolve this final conflict. Will the heroes stop Vecna's dimensional merger? Will any of the 12 children survive? And will Henry Creel finally face the trauma that created him? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.